Hi, this is Rochelle Haidu. I am one of the co-chairs of the Department of Art and Art History. I just wanted to take a moment to tell you all how much we miss you, how much we've hated spending this last part of the semester unable to finish our courses with you, in some cases, in all of your cases, unable to finish your degrees with you. This is not what anybody wanted, and we all really miss seeing you in person, in the classroom, in our offices, in the halls, on the quad, everywhere. So this is not at all what we hope for you, and not at all what we look forward to. We look forward to commencement. It's a great time to meet your families and to celebrate everything you've done. We really hope that you can come back and that we can redo this properly in person. And until then, we've put together this recording to just give you a taste of how much we want to celebrate you and what we would say if we were all together in the ballroom at the Memorial Art Gallery celebrating together with you. We miss you. Take care of yourselves, but congratulations. You've done a great job.
How I wish we were at the MAG together today, welcoming you and your families in person. But that's going to have to wait. For now, please accept my sincere congratulations. You did it. Congratulations.
Congratulations, seniors. We're so proud of you.
Congratulations, graduates 2020. You did it. I wish you all the best and a very bright future. Take care.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Very well done.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I wish you all the best. And thank you to everyone in the Department of Art and Art History for your truly dedicated, inspiring, and exceptional work.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I can't wait to see where all of your art training takes you in your future endeavors. Best wishes.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Well done.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations. Thank you for letting us be part of your undergraduate experience. I can't wait to see what your future holds.
It is my great pleasure to honor our graduate, Junyi Fan. I had Junyi in my classes twice, and I know that she is most brilliant. Junyi is a rare talent who is eloquent, energetic, intellectually mature, and clear-headed. Indeed, Junyi was one of those students who can always manage to be on top of things. Junyi's merits have rewarded her with acceptance to graduate programs at Columbia University and Duke University. Congratulations, Junyi. Best of luck with your graduate studies and future career.
I've had the pleasure of teaching Jaylin Huo in 3 of my courses, and in addition to supervising her honours dissertation. In every case, Jaylin has been a model student, attentive, thoughtful, imaginative, and hardworking. I've noticed these qualities particularly in her honours essay, written on the topic of Chinese-inspired decoration at the tea house at Sanssouci, Frederick the Great's summer palace in Potsdam, Germany. Jaylin was able to show that the chinoiserie decoration, far from being a copy of the art and architecture of China, is in fact a European invention that bears at best a passing resemblance to the East Asian reality. Jaylin has shown she is well able to sustain interest in a complex and fascinating topic. With the skills she has developed while a student in the Department of Art and Art History, she is well able to pursue a variety of careers. She tells me she's expecting to go on to postgraduate study on graduation. I'm quite sure that she will do very well in whatever field she pursues. Jaylin, very well done.
To present my congratulations to Yelenia Krakova on her graduation and on winning the Elizabeth Anderson Prize in Art History. It has been my distinct pleasure to have her in a few classes and to have worked with her on an ambitious independent study. Eugenia is gifted with an elegant and sparkling intelligence that comes through vividly in her writing as well as her class contributions. Adventurous and original as a thinker, she always enlivens class discussions with her thoughtful, critical insights and her tremendous intellectual generosity. My fondest hope for her is that she retain her intellectual curiosity and her vibrant voice.
I'm thrilled to congratulate Cameron Phillips on her graduation. Cameron, I know these times are extremely strange, but you should be proud of this threshold that you're crossing nonetheless. I was just thinking back to your wonderful senior seminar paper on quilting and ecofeminism in the American frontier. And I was reminded of how important the question of resources, both intellectual, financial, and emotional, have again become. The way you pointed out in that essay and in your presentation of that essay that a textile like the American quilt can be at once architecture, pastime, and sign really made me think about the way that sociability was such a crucial part of our pedagogical experience and something that you contributed so brilliantly to with both your paper and in your seminar. I wish you all the best. From one Southerner, from the Peach State, to another from the Yellowhammer State, I wish you all the best and congratulations. I hope you can celebrate with loved ones. And you should know that we're all very proud of you here at Rochester. Okay? Stay safe. All best.
Hello. I have the pleasure of awarding Yue Chueyan her diploma today, remotely. I only had Ra in one class years ago, my modern art lecture course. I loved seeing her, always in the front row, always wearing an incredible outfit. Her first journal for me about Manet's Olympia converted me forever into a fan. She made a brilliant feminist argument about both class and gender. From then on, hearing of how great her studio work was, I only got to run into her here and there. I remember one night in particular when she and I sat next to each other at a screening of Andy Warhol's films at the Dryden. At the time, I didn't realize that she was enrolled in Douglas Crimp's Warhol class. I just naturally assumed that this very sophisticated student was coming of her own volition to the screening. Even when I later realized it was part of her coursework, I decided that it was testimony anyway to Ra's unfailing sense of intellectual and personal style. Warhol is the perfect lodestar for her. I had the honor of being one of Ra's recommenders for graduate school this year and was thrilled that out of the 3 programs that accepted her, she chose to start a master's program in the humanities at the amazing University of Chicago. There, I know she'll find what is only the next step in a career that I can only hope will be as unique and impressive as a self-possessed, creative, dedicated young woman. Bravo.
I have the happy pleasure of talking about Sophia Rossman. Sophia is a force. She is one of the most impressive undergraduate students I've encountered in my over 20 years of teaching. She is smart, determined, generous, creative, and very thoughtful. As a student in my writing on art class, her work was outstanding. She was a leader in discussion and small group work and helped some of the students who were struggling to focus and develop their ideas. Sophia is a sharp thinker and a gifted writer. Her paper for my class on artificial intelligence and artistic production was so exceptional that I suggested she submit it to this annual student writing competition. Sophia is also a juggler, hence the juggling family behind me, a talent that I am certain will come in handy as she graduates. But I have no doubt that she will be able to handle whatever is thrown at her and do it with grace and success. Congratulations, Sophia.
I was very happy to have Z Tan in 2 of my courses. He did excellent work, looking carefully, thinking deeply, and writing very effectively about works of art. Z is principally interested in early modern European art and global cultural contact. In many courses, he examined particular transhistorical moments of such contact. Z wrote a beautiful paper for me about 2 contemporary masters of Chinese art, Ai Weiwei and Zai Guozhong. I was so moved and excited by his insights that I'm learning more and will teach about Zai in my writing seminar next fall. So Z, even though you'll be in a master's program in art history at the University of Chicago, your influence will live on here. Congratulations, Z Tan.
I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Yu Wang, a thoughtful, wonderful student in art history, and I'm happy I've had the chance to include her in my 20th Century American Photography course. She came to the course armed with true intellectual curiosity and visual acuity. So for instance, she wrote a concise comparison of works by two titans of American photography, Walker Evans and Dorothea Lange, and she chose an unlikely pairing for comparative analysis and wrote about the differences between the empathetic art of Lange and the informational clarity of Evans in their approach to a particular topic, the family portrait. Now, you always meant to bring, always had a means to bring the conversation back to what deserved more comment. Very often she demonstrated what I had in mind as the model class participant, just in how often she anticipated my next moves as the instructor. So I found myself saying, I believe my next slide will help you with your question more frequently with you than with students I've had over the years. And it's a good thing. I'm also happy to see her cat walk into frame every once in a while on her laptop during our online meetings. And I extend a hearty congratulations to Yu Wang, and I wish her success in her future endeavors. Congratulations.
Hi, Alan Topolsky. It's a real privilege to provide this placeholder for your commencement ceremony. I've sincerely appreciated the opportunity I had to work with you all in Senior Studio and Seminar this semester. That class is where the program makes clear all its biggest questions and where we've asked you outright to do the harder, more worthy thing. We've asked that you not only be creative, but responsive. We've asked that you be proactive instead of reactive. We've asked you to maintain an acute awareness of individual responsibility for the meaning and consequences of your work. The best part of what you've gained, of course, is that it's not circumscribed by art, not tools dedicated solely to studio production, but germane to the broadest of life's demands. We'll now move through the individual presentations, and we'll start with Vivian Chen.
Hi, my name is Carrie Adams, and I'm Professor of Art and Art History, Environmental Humanities, and Film and Media Studies. And it's my pleasure today to speak on behalf of S. Juanji Jin, also known as Vivian. In Vivian's work, she incorporates and distorts the inherent nature of things and brings new interpretations to each object. She's drawn to the fading tradition of handmade items, and she's connected to the beauty of nature. She sees dried leaves in the wrinkles of old fabric, the shapes and textures of trees and ceramic vessels, and autumn in the palette of her abstract paintings. She makes buttons to clothes using porcelain, hand dyes, natural fabric, organic pigments. These things display her patient attachment to making and process. And it's a tribute to a disappearing craft. She sews tea-dyed labels to garments and attaches typewritten tags that mimic the fashion industry. Although the tags of the clothes don't really have any function, she leaves the audience to question the unwearable clothes and their own relationship with the materials. Viewers are prompted to ask how to view both current and traditional making existing on the same plane. Vivian has told me that one of her best memories at U of R is being at Sage Arts Center and doing artwork there because Sage is such an open and encouraging environment. In her classes that she took with me, Vivian says she learned to trust the process, and she found her way through practice and experience. In Professor Alan Topolsky's classes, she learned, don't try to sort out a comprehensive plan of your work initially without making any work, because that's not how art functions. You will find your way through process, action, and honesty. And I completely agree. Vivian has also learned a lot from long conversations with her fellow classmate Glendon Gio. From these conversations, she learned to not be afraid to try out different materials and possibilities. Vivian is an exciting and promising artist who has deep feeling and understanding for detail, time, process, and history. I look forward to seeing the exciting works that she creates in the future. I wish her the very best. Congratulations, Vivian.
It is my honor to salute Glendon Guo as he graduates with a triple major in studio art, digital media studies, and math. After having Glendon in 5 of my studio art courses, I feel confident in stating that he is the most curious, inquisitive, and engaged human being I have ever met. Glendon's art exists in the mysterious, experiential gaping spaces where language fails. He attempted, for example, to create an olfactory alphabet that would categorize humans by smell. He sees logic as the opposite of romance and believes that modern people exist in 3 environments: nature, commerce, and cyberspace. Glendon's senior thesis exhibition uses multimedia to manipulate and collapse the space between the quark and the universe. Glendon will start graduate school this fall in either entertainment technology at Carnegie Mellon or interactive telecommunication at NYU. In addition to congratulating him, I would like to thank Glendon for being a catalyst in our studio art program, for exemplifying the artist as thinker, and for expanding possibilities in education. We'll certainly miss you.
I'm seated here in front of Sam Kerber's studio in Sage Art Center. I had the real privilege of working closely with Sam and getting to know her. Sam's work ethic is incredible. It prompted me to hire her as a studio assistant for an installation of mine, and after she took an intro level course with me, I asked her to TA an advanced level course that she hadn't even taken yet, and knowing that she'd be excellent at it, and she was. She's one of the best TAs ever. Sam's a good, solid citizen in a generous spirit. She's sensitive and open to others. Sam's communication skills and tactfulness are exceptional, and she always used them effectively in critiques, and she always contributed very positively to the class dynamic. Her thesis work capitalizes on this skill set and explores connections between people, the ones we're right now struggling with. She makes a poetic connection to tangible networks, phone lines, and conduits. She explores the fabric of our communication, where it frays and unravels and exposes us, and where it holds together, grips, and comforts us. Sam, congratulations. Good luck in all your endeavors, and stay in touch.
Kimberly Yaharuna Peralta has a deep interest in people. She has loved the opportunity to interact with diverse groups of people both at Sage and across campus through her dual major in studio arts and mechanical engineering. Her interest even extends to her artwork, where she takes ideas from the world of ethology or the study of animal behavior and applies them to the people around her. For example, her project Hyperrealism raises questions about why humans are obsessed with modifying their own image. I'm very proud of everything Kim has accomplished, and I have no doubt that she will do well in all of her future endeavors. Kimberly has always been a positive presence in all of my classes. Kim, you will truly be missed at Sage. Keep making art. Keep smiling.
It has been such an amazing experience to work with George Murray. George truly cares about the concepts and craftsmanship he presents in art, and it shows in the consistent high quality of his work. His work examines mental illness, focusing on details often overlooked, and presents perceptions from alternative perspectives, perhaps reflected in his interest in so many different kinds of media. George's eyes light up every time you share a new technique with him. His enthusiasm for researching new topics and experimenting with new materials is enormous. George, I hope you have every opportunity to continue developing such a sincere passion for exploring new perspectives. We're looking forward to your future work. Congratulations and good luck. Chen Yue is a great communicator. She has a special skill for asking the right questions to clarify and spark curiosity. Yue's passion for the study of fine art comes through clear, not only in the production of her work, but also in her academic energy and conduct. Her art practice focuses on identity. Influenced by gender studies and traditional Chinese art, Yue's work depicts traditional portrayals of women dealing with the contemporary issues. Yue, it has been a great opportunity to work with you here at the University of Rochester. With your inquisitiveness and passion for learning and improving, I have no doubt you will achieve expertise in your future pursuits. You've done a great job, and we wish you good luck with your graduate studies. Congratulations.
In her thesis project titled Passing Thought, Michaela explores the connections between human expression and interactions. Black and white portraits on fabric are hung outside on a clothesline, dancing in the wind. She invites the passerby to wonder and ponder about the layering of images and landscape and the written thoughts exposed. I had the privilege to work with Michaela at the beginning of her trajectory at the university. I was already impressed by her dedication to her work and ideas and her creativity. And I was thrilled when I learned that she decided to major in studio art and pursue her lens-based media work. I cannot wait to see how her promising career will unfold. Congratulations.
I am thrilled to have this opportunity to honor India Tucker. I have to admit that I've only had India as a student for one day, because on the second day she showed up as a professional, and that's how I've seen her ever since. For her senior thesis project titled I Am the Dark Side of the Sun, India created an animated film that describes existential crises that she and her peers experience. India says that she's been working on these ideas for 8 years. If you do the math, that means that she started her senior thesis project in 8th grade, which does not surprise me. India's animation is a guide for those who find themselves washing dishes and thinking, who am I and why am I here? She says that she can see herself, but wonders how others see her. I can help with that one. India is simultaneously a daydreamer and a laser-focused executive who plans her life years in advance. She is insightful, ambitious, nuanced, independent, and ready to take on the world. She graduates with a major in studio art, a minor in chemistry, and a plan to study animation in graduate school. Through her existentialist lens, these facts may or may not matter. Congratulations, India.
Phoebe Yang uses art to form connections with the world which surrounds her. As a social psychology major, she is interested in representing social phenomena, psychological problems, and personal emotions using a diverse range of media and materials. As a student in my introductory drawing course, Phoebe explored the ways in which a simple task, the consuming of a fast food burrito bowl, could be glorified through a series of richly detailed drawings in charcoal. Phoebe strives to make her feelings and emotions the underpinnings of her watercolor and acrylic paintings, some examples of which you can see here. Phoebe's artist statement makes clear that she is passionate about the ways in which art can be therapeutic and how art can be used to call attention to complex issues like prejudice and mental illness. Phoebe uses both 2- and 3-dimensional art to investigate tangible ways to illustrate thoughts and emotions that are often difficult to verbalize. I wish Phoebe all the best in her future artistic endeavors. Congratulations.
I've had Rusheng Zhao in many studio courses, she might say too many. When Rusheng's not cooking, she's reading. She reads a lot. She enjoys films and watches anime and reads manga as well. And her art comes from an impulse to materialize the spaces she envisions through these explorations. Her religion is very important to her, and she's intrigued by spirituality's intersections with other non-material realms, the mythological or even the digital. She embraces a stylistic approach of a fantasy illustrator, but her works always have rich cultural connections and intersections. I'm seated here between heaven and hell, which is inspired by Dante's Inferno. Rusheng strives to make work that's meaningful to her and those around her. Rusheng, I've always enjoyed working with you. You're a very easy person to be around, a kind and generous soul, and I wish you good luck in all your endeavors, and I hope we stay in touch. There's one more thing. The Departmental Purchase Prize goes to George Maruri. The Elizabeth Anderson Award for Excellence in Art goes to Glendon Gao. These 2 awards are determined by the faculty, and they represent our understanding of your deep-seated commitment to meaningful and well-crafted art production. Congratulations to the both of you, and congratulations to all of you.
As faculty of the Photographic Preservation and Collections Management Program, which is shared between the university and George Eastman Museum in Rochester, I have the great pleasure of announcing two of this year's master's students, Xiaochun Wang and Rebecca Gorovich. First, I am grateful to tell you a little bit about Xiaochun Wang, who most recently hails from Shenzhen, China, and where he's previously worked at the Shenzhen Museum as a collections specialist. This April, Xiaochun completed his master's essay titled Thomas Mott Osborne's Japan and China Photograph Album, a case study on photography in China in the 1870s, which examines the authorship of photographs in 19th century travel album in the George Eastman Museum's collection. As his essay supervisor, Heather Shannon, can attest, Xiaochun's strength is his exacting connoisseurship, particularly his research into photography studios in Hong Kong during a transitional period when most European photographers departed and Chinese photographers got a footing in the market. He then discovered the lion's share of the Osborne album's images are by Lai Fong and his studio, contributing to our knowledge of early Chinese photographers. Xiaochun has a meticulous eye for detail, which makes him the phenomenal researcher and writer. He's also one of the most affable students I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And no matter the hitch or hang up, whether it was course enrollment issues or the fallout of a global pandemic, he remained a true professional. I'll never forget his eye-opening analysis of wedding photographs from 1990s China that he produced for a seminar on photography in the everyday, which I taught. I'll miss him greatly, but I'm very excited for the next phase of his work in photographic collections in the museum world. Next, I'd like to congratulate Rebecca Gorovich. Becca, as I know her, is from San Francisco and holds a master in social documentation from UC Santa Cruz. Her master's essay, Encountering the Records of the Mother Jones International Fund for Documentary Photography, or IFDP, concentrates on the archival records related to the IFDP, looking at its governance and funding structure at a time when documentary photography and photojournalism migrated from print media into the Wild West of the internet age. With the help of George Eastman Museum's librarian, Ken Fox, she disentangled records of two different archives related to the documentary fund, first headed by Mother Jones magazine and then taken over by the 50 Crows Foundation. In the process, she uncovered a series of tectonic shifts in the practice and definition of photojournalism at the turn of the millennium. Through phone interviews and primary source research, believe me, Becca can gracefully describe the import of an angry photographer's resignation letter. She reorganized so much of the material for future scholars and provided her own invaluable insights into complex material. In addition, I know her from my courses, including her passionate analysis of everyday cell phone photography in the age of the Central American migrant crisis, which she wrote and presented in my seminar, Photography in the Everyday, alongside Xiaochun. Both Xiaochun and Becca are phenomenal students, and I count myself fortunate for helping them achieve their vital work during this time at the university and with this program. Congratulations to you both. Thank you.
I'm happy to share the successes of the graduate program in Visual and Cultural Studies for our virtual commencement this year. I must share them in briefer form than they would normally get, but I hope to be able to provide more information about our wonderful students in VCS on another platform later in the year. To begin, annually we give out the Celeste Hughes Bishop Award, through which the steering committee honors academic accomplishments, teaching achievements, and general contributions to the communities of VCS and the University of Rochester. Kendall DeBoer, Byron Fong, and Wade Key are the recipients of this year's Bishop Award. The steering committee was especially impressed by the outstanding teaching, classroom performances, intellectual community building, and wider campus and community engagement that Kendall, Byron, and Wade have exhibited through, among other things, their research in writing, TAing in a highly varied and intensive range of pedagogical contexts, initiatives such as the Global Digital Humanities Project, and practical and scholarly work in the name of decarceration through the Rochester Decarceration Research Initiative. Congratulations, Kendall, Byron, and Wade. In addition, 3 amazing students have also finished their dissertations during this academic year. Tara Najad Ahmadi did urgent work on her dissertation entitled Unfinished Art, Film, and Revolution in Iran, 1979. As one of her advisors, Rochelle Haidu, writes, Unfinished attests to a unique level of intellectual and political sophistication. It examines different ways of understanding incompleteness in relation to the Iranian Revolution, in which not only are artworks left incomplete, but art becomes incomplete when neither it fails to reach its intended audience or a career is interrupted by the revolution. Another of her advisors, Janet Berlow, tells me that Tara's dissertation will be a brilliant book because it is an astonishing work of scholarly retrieval of works that had literally been erased from history. An award-winning filmmaker, Tara currently teaches art history and makes films in Europe. Lauren DiGiulio wrote a compelling dissertation entitled Circling the Sign, Pattern and Gesture in Late 20th Century Performance. Lauren has worked as a dramaturge and theatrical producer, so it is no surprise that her advisor speaks so highly of her writing on performance in her dissertation. Rochelle Haidu, for example, states that Circling the Sign is a remarkable treatise bringing together highly current thought and performance in dance studies with questions that haunt the humanities more broadly in the current moment regarding identity and expression, authorship, and audience. And Ken Gross writes that in reading Circling the Sign, one feels oneself as much as possible inside the field of living performance, alert to its passage in time, to the beginnings and framing context of a work, to the charged moment of performance itself, to how the work engages its audience, how it is remembered and revised. Lauren is currently Mellon Postdoctoral Fellow at Carolina Performing Arts, UNC Chapel Hill. Finally, Eitan Friedenberg completed a powerful dissertation entitled Rebuilding, Architectural Reproduction in America, 1900 through 1945. Among the architectural reproductions that Eitan considers there are the reconstruction of Jerusalem at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, Henry Ford's recreations of Edison's laboratory in suburban Detroit, and the testing sites that the US military built in planning the bombing of Japan and Germany during World War II. As his advisor, Joan Saab writes, Eitan is committed to public scholarship and has the potential to become a true public intellectual in the best sense of the term. His work is theoretically sophisticated, historically grounded, and it embraces the spirit of possibility and experimentation that marks the best cultural analysis. Consistent with this public-facing spirit of possibility, Eitan has also worked with religion professor Joshua Dubler to foster educational opportunities for incarcerated and formerly incarcerated college students in the greater Rochester area, launching and administering a degree-granting program at Groveland Correctional Facility. He is currently the Rochester Education Justice Initiative's Assistant Director of Programming, a title which Professor Dubler says, quite honestly, sells short his essentialness to the program. I wish I had time to say more about all of you, but you have my immense admiration, especially this year, when things are quite hard for all of us. Congratulations.
We just wanted to say a final goodbye. We miss you so much. Congratulations.
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 Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.